Welcome back, everybody, to Thunderclap Thursday Part 2. If you watched the last game, I was just trying the intro just to see what would happen. I thought I could cast the entire game like it was a freaking golf game, and I tried my best. I just couldn't hold it. All right, let's get this baby going for Part 2. Don't forget the Friday challenges tomorrow. So far, I have, I believe, 4 or 5 different submissions there, so remember to submit it. All you got to do is expand one of your opponent's closest 2 mineral patches, get the win, submit that baby, even win or loss, to be honest with you. I'll cast every one of them on Friday, guaranteed. Or if you don't do that, just send any of your replays to tractorchute@gmail.com. And here we go. In the bottom left-hand corner is the Protoss being played by the man you saw yesterday. New to the rankings of Tractor Chute land is maduckJr for Team Copper. He will be playing as the red Protoss. In the upper right-hand corner as the blue Terran, it is Pablito. So it will be the Mexicano against maduckJr. At least I'm going to assume he's Mexican. Anytime your name goes Lito, you better be Mexican. Here we go. Let's get this baby's going. Our Spanish at the very least. We will take a look at our APM tab to start this baby off here. We are 20-12, even better than last game. The lower the better, like I like to say. Take a look at our production tab so we can check the timings on a few of these here. Gateway Barracks coming down to both at the same time. So nothing too special going on here. No cheese coming out of everybody. Also, there is something not coming out of both of them that should be happening. Maybe some scouting, but no scouting going on here, as this is a map respawn in the same spot anyways, but it would be handy to maybe know what your opponent's going to go. Do have the refinery going down there and the assimilator at the same time, so both these guys are going to get some gas somewhat early at this point in time, about 2 minutes in there. So very well done. maduckJr is going to finish up that gateway. We do have the standard wall off out of Pablito. He's going to get himself the barracks supply depot and the other supply depot on the other side. He's going to mine away there at that gas. One worker going at that. There are 3 going for maduckJr here. maduckJr is getting down another pylon at this point in time here. Both these guys are fairly even. I did not see what rank these guys were either. I'm just not paying attention today. I do know maduckJr is silver. I'm not entirely sure what Pablito is, though. We will assume he is silver as well. Let's go with that. There we go. There's another pylon going. Cybercore going down. So 1 gateway into the Cybercore. So pretty standard build coming out of maduckJr here. At the other end here, it does seem that Pablito is just going to spit out a few Marines to start this, and is going to get the scout off. So he will get the SCV going across the map here. That SCV will hopefully get into the base here and soon find out what is happening. There's nothing overly special he is going to see other than the fact that there is a Cybercore in the field at this point in time already. So knows he's not going to get pushed by Zealots really early here. So that will give him a little bit of intel. Either way, he does have the wall off and the few Marines at the other end anyway, so they will be able to fend that off. Is getting the factory out, so we're going in barracks into a factory, probably barracks factory into another barracks as standard. Usually what you're going to end up seeing might get into a Widow Mine or a Siege Tank type build out of there. There he goes. Does get into the base. We'll see what he needs to see. Is getting the stalker out early. Always trying to get his stalker off. Does keep the pylons bunched up. Very, very smart. Don't want to see any Artosis pylons out there. Does send the probe after the SCV. So apparently doesn't want the SCV sitting in there too long. Usually when it comes to Terran SCVs, a lot of times you can leave them in your base. They're not going to do anything overly exciting or tricky. But you never know in the lower leagues, you know, I'd say 6 out of 10 people like to do cheese, so it might be handy to get rid of him just to be safe. There we go. That stalker does take him out. Does tell Pablito there's a stalker in the field. He does have 5 Marines out there, so it doesn't really matter. It does look like Warp Gate technology is slowly coming out. Is getting the Stargate as well, so it will be a 1-1-1 build. So very well done there. Probably going to get into Marine, Marauder, Medevac with some Siege Tanks, I would have to imagine. It's going to move out with 5 Marines, so fairly interesting. Going to get out there. Maybe had a feeling that he might be able to get a little bit of early pressure here. Warp Gate technology slowly finishing up there. Is using his Chrono Boost, which is very, very smart. There he goes, putting out all those pylons there. Always handy to bunch those babies up, like I mentioned before. 1 stalker at the front gate. Won't do a whole heck of a lot to these 5 Marines. Is currently rallying everybody down there. Yes, he is. So everybody is going to be heading down here. We'll take out that 1 stalker fairly easy. That stalker's going to try micro over there. There's the second one. Needs to get that front stalker in the back. Doesn't end up doing so. This other stalker may end up going down as well if he doesn't get out of there. And these 3 Marines will clean up as that one as well here. So we will get a little bit of pressure, but with the 3 Marines there, shouldn't be too much of a push they can put on there. He will back off. Did get the 2 stalker kills, so really didn't gain a whole lot out of that overall, if you ask me. If we take a look at our production tab here, we'll see Siege Tanks. So yes, he is going to get into Marine Marauder Medevac Siege Tank type build. Warp Gate technology just finishing up for maduckJr there. There we go. Now we're going to get another barracks down. So we'll start to basically increase the build of the barracks there. Probably get into about 3 or 4 barracks and then get an expo going, I would have to imagine. Usually if you're going to run that, 3 barracks, Stargate, and a factory there. That's usually enough. Then you got to get the expo out in order to maintain that economy. There we go. He does currently have a lot queued up. It has warp gate technology, but apparently thinking that he doesn't want to use it. So he is going to actually queue them all up, let them all build here. Does have the second gateway coming down here slowly there, so he's doing fairly well for himself. Is going to get the expo, it does look like, or he's going out for a scout. We'll soon find out here. If we take a look at the upper echelon here, does have a siege tank out there slow. He is turtling up pretty good here. Going to ride it on one base for a little bit, it does appear. Doesn't even have a command center building in the main here, so he can float it off for an expansion. So very interesting that he hasn't chosen to do that. Does get a scan off, so knows what he's up against here. Still not using warp gate. Not entirely sure why he researched it. He is pumping more units out normmally with the Chrono Boost, so I guess that's what Chrono Boost is for. So to each their own. Fair enough. So he is going to Chrono Boost out those units here. He is building a lot of supply depots here. Is Pablito here. Doesn't want to get supply blocked. He did actually get supply blocked for a second there, so a little bit surprising. Has some random SCVs just standing around there. Might want to get them starting to build at the same time here. Might want to start looking at expansion. Does have another siege tank way over here. Not entirely sure why. Might want to move him up there, maybe to give him a little bit more range. There's the expansion. So it does look like maduckJr. is going to build way over here. Is going to start moving out. Has 4 stalkers and a zealot. So that's a bit of an army though, but with those siege tanks on the high ground, it could be very big trouble once he does choose to engage this. So he is going to get right up there. Not entirely sure what he's going to plan on doing with this. Doesn't have blink or anything or vision on the high ground. Really needs to get out of Mothership Core at the same time. He is getting a Stargate, as you can see. Oh, walks right through that siege tank fire. Needs to get out of there. Very well done. Didn't lose too much for hit points. Did end up losing his shield there. If we take a look at our units tab, do have the 6 Stalkers and the 1 Zealot, 2 tanks, and the 9 Marines with the 1 medevac there. So he has decided he is going to retreat. Does know what he's up against, though. That does tell him that there will be siege tanks on the field. So might get him to start getting up into some Immortals, possibly even some Colossi, so he can get that range out there. There we go. Now we're going to get some Void Rays, actually. He's going to go with air. There's another good counter to these siege tanks as well. Hopefully doesn't get too marine heavy at the other end. Otherwise, those Void Rays will be countered pretty easily here. But we'll soon find out. It is a very good counter at the same time. Is getting another barracks up at the same time here. Has the engineering bay. Should be getting some upgrades, I would have to imagine, at some point in time. Or maybe just likes to have the engineering bay. Fair enough. There we go. This expansion is fully up and running there. Does have both the similars at the same time here. At the other end, we do have the 1 Stargate with the 2 gateways there. Both gateways still not into Warp Gate quite yet. Could put them into Warp Gate at any point in time. But either way, we are StarCraft 1 style all the way, says maduckJr. There he goes. Does get himself a Void Ray on the field here. Still no upgrades coming out of Maduck. At the other end here, does look like he has moved everything to the low ground here and is going to expand. So Pablito getting into his expansion at this point in time, a little bit behind maduckJr. maduckJr. will be up on him economy-wise at this point in time. Does have a siege tank there. Maybe we might want to start rallying that factory. Might help him out quite a bit there. Does have the orbital commands out though as well here. So I would have to imagine we're going to see some mules get laid down fairly quickly once that expo gets up here. Is building some more supply depots. It is 72 to 56 for maduckJr. So he is doing very well as far as the macro game goes and getting his units built. Is going to send the 1 Void Ray out around the outside of the map there, so we have to keep an eye on him, see what he does. Does have a second one going around at the same time here, so very well done with this. I would have to imagine he might move into a second Stargate now that he does have that expo fully going. There we go. Now we are getting the Warp Gate technology out there. We have decided it's time. I would really like to see maybe 2 or 3 more gateways at the very least go down, especially with 2 bases up and running, and both of them look very healthy with the amount of workers on them, so that would be very, very handy. Down here we do see him. There we go. They might actually get an intercept of a full medevac here. It's going to be very close. He is trying to get out of there. Don't know. Oh, he did lose it. That is deadly. maduckJr. with the 6th snipe. Very well done in the corner there. Good thing he had that second Void Ray down there. Much props to you, my son. Up here we are getting this second one going fairly well here. Does have these siege tanks up there. Is getting the mule drops down there as well. He does know that the Void Rays are coming. A little bit surprised he hasn't moved his Marines over here, as he does know that those Void Rays are down there and have to imagine they are coming in. They are going to get the mineral line. There's some Marauders there. The 1 Marine will wander over there, and maduckJr. will be in big trouble as they will get over here with the stim. So does need to get out of there. We'll lose both Void Rays, so not very good engagement for maduckJr. there. Did get the 6th snipe on that medevac, so maybe we'll call that even as far as the kills go there, as it was full, but at the same time there, that really did hurt him now. If we take a look at our our active forces here. We do have basically 19, so they're very, very even. 1900 to 1800. Obviously, maduckJr. heavier on the gas. So very well done by both these guys. Take a look at the income tab. maduckJr. way up there as he did have that expansion down nice and early. So very well done by him. We're going to get a robo facility out of maduckJr. as well as air weapons. So he is going to buff up those void rays. So very, very smart. Is he getting some more production out here? Yes, there's the second Stargate I wished for. And we are getting the robo facility down as well. So very good. Might be seeing him get into some type of stock. Or, yeah, probably get into a Colossi build. Sorry, Colossi would be very smart against the Marine Marauder type build. So we will get the Void Ray Stalker and determine what's going to come out of those robo facility here. He is very, very healthy. He has almost fully saturated this other base here. So very good macro game out of him. There we go. We do get a drop in here. They're all going to get surrounded. So didn't really do a whole heck of a lot there. Don't really think it was worth it in the end for him there. But it was worth a shot there. Might end up getting a couple kills there. That one will turbo out of there with the jetpacks there. End up getting all the way around here. Yeah, nobody will take him out, so we will end up getting back to the base here. If we take a look at our units tab, we'll currently see where everybody is. We do have the 3 Voids, the 13 Stalkers, and the 1 Zealot, to the 23 Marines, 8 Marauders, and 2 Siege Tanks with the 3 Medevacs there. So both these guys with a fairly even army so far. We'll soon find out what he's going to elect to get out of this Robo facility, as the Robo has finished here. Is sticking with the Void Rays, really hasn't queued up. Is Chrono boosting the heck out of him there, so very good use of his Chrono boost here. Is warping in 2 units at a time. Like I said, wouldn't mind seeing a lot more gateways out of him here. He is carrying a fairly decent bankroll there, so he's doing very well at spending his money. There we go. We are actually going to get into Colossi, so we will get the Robo support facility there, so very smart there. Down here, this thing is fully saturated there, so could look at getting a third at some point in time. None of these guys seem too intent on moving out. Is building random cannons over here, maybe keeping an eye out for when those voids captain come back here. Did also build a few more down here, so he is really keeping an eye on them. There's the third going down for maduckJr, so very smart of him getting that out there. Does have a very good stalker count there, sitting at 17 stalkers and 5 voids. We can probably speed this baby up, as both these guys seem pretty content on building up their armies now. He is actually going to move out here. Does have a lot of voids to be moving out, so this could be very deadly. Ends up taking across 6 of these so far, if I can count properly, or darn right Sesame Street paid off. There we go. He's going to get these babies going around the bottom right hand corner. Going to go the exact same way as last time. With those 6 turrets, I'm very curious if that's going to be enough to detour them, or he'll maybe elect to engage those, because he could engage them, but if he chooses to do so, the rest of the army might get up there with those Marines that actually end up melting all these Void Rays. So we'll soon find out. He is going to try and sneak his way in there. We'll end up running right into him fairly quickly here and see what he decides. Does he move out? He is actually going to attack, so very well done there. We'll end up taking out 1, 2, and move to the middle line. But in comes the Marines here, and this will be deadly with the stim. Does get out this time, might suffer. There goes 1. Did he actually end up losing 2? Does end up losing 2 there. So not the best of engagement for him, as all he did was take out the couple turrets. So not very good for maduckJr. We'll get back to his base here and regroup to get that army built up. Once he starts getting these Colossi, or yeah, the Colossi out, then it's going to start to get a very good composition for him here. Is not getting the thermal lance, extended thermal lance yet, or maybe waiting for the gas count to get up here. Is going down 2 robos. Really, 2 robos, 2 Stargates, and that many... the couple gateways there. Does really need to get that third saturated, because he is going to be heavy on the gas with this build. So definitely going to need a lot of gas for this build here. Does have a lot of Colossi coming out here. So as the one on the field so far, 2 more are going to come out here. These Voids end up making it back here. So altogether, he's got 8 Voids, 17 Stalkers, and 1 Colossi. So very good army. Up at the other end here, we have ourselves basically 33 Marines. Wow, 15 Marauders, 2 tanks, 4 Vikings, and 3 Medevacs. Vikings is very smart, finally getting the counter for those Voids there. Does have a lot of guys queued up. He is supply block one more time. We are 157 to 126. We can speed this baby up here. He's moving a big probe transfer here, as he does have a lot up here that have finished mining this out here. So very good by maduckJr. to get that going. There we go. This is the double Colossi type build here. Still doesn't have the thermal lance, so very interesting. Thermal lance is almost a necessity whenever you have the Colossi, so wouldn't mind seeing him get that out pretty quick here. Is getting a lot of pylons out here, making sure he doesn't get supply block here, as he does realize that he was pretty much caught up there. So pretty much did supply block himself. Is putting Phoenixes on the field, so he is putting Phoenixes on there to support those Void Rays there. So that is a very good idea. There'll be a very good counter to those Vikings. Their Vikings are very strong. but at the same time, when you got Void / Phoenix, it is a very good counter. Does put up the proxy pylon. With that proxy pylon out there, I would really like to see him have at least 6 gateways or so. Well, at least 4 very minimal there, because the proxy's not going to help when you're only warping 2 units in at a time. But I assume that he'll probably get better at that and probably get himself some more gateways there to help out his builds next time, especially when he's on 3 base. And he is getting the upgrade for Thermal Lance, so very well done by maduckJr. There's the 3rd finally going up by pablito. Pablito's getting a little bit excited down there. He's having himself a fiesta, just sitting in the base there, mining like crazy, hitting pinatas, beating things with sticks. I love it there. Mr. Pablito has a lot of turrets all over the map here. Wowzer, making sure he definitely doesn't get attacked like that again here. We'll slow this baby down here as I do see some red moving across the map. This is very deadly with this amount of Colossi. I can't picture this getting fended off by Pablito. Those Colossi are just so strong. No upgrades though, except for the air units there. Wouldn't mind seeing some better upgrades for the ground units, but we'll soon find out what's going to happen here. I don't think there's enough siege tanks, just 2. Now, if he had his siege tanks up to about 5 or 6, which is what he really should be when he gets into a siege marine marauder, then it would have been a lot better. But all these Colossi here, they're just going to melt this ground army. Wow. Look at that ground army just disappear, just one by one. Does get the stim off there. Don't think it's going to be enough, though, especially with that extended thermal lance going there. They're really going to melt them away there. Vikings are doing as much as they can, but they have really melted him down to 158 to 101, down below 100 now. All the voids out there should be able to finish this off. Very well done by maduckJr. That composition was just way too strong, especially when we didn't have a whole lot of medevacs on the field and needed a lot more tanks. The tanks was the worst part. He really needed to be at least 6-7 tanks in that army. Would have helped him out quite a bit there. So he will melt away the rest of this army here. I would have to imagine maduckJr. has this game in the bag here. All the Colossi up on the upper ground. They're walking up that mountain like a boss. There we go. He's going to melt away the rest of the army that's standing up there doing not a heck of a lot. Void Rays will finish off a couple little turrets down the bottom here. So very well done. My congrats to you, maduckJr. My condolences to you, Pablito. And you are one man that does not give up at all. Did choose to attack those rocks for some reason. Must have been a little bit of a misclick here. Those Colossi are really going to go to work. Maybe he plans on rebuilding with this army here. maduckJr. is given the he's given the offensive GG there, so very well done. Like to see that little bit of cockiness every now and then. It is kind of funny to see. Not getting anything out of his opponent though. Maybe his opponent just picked up and left the computer. I'm not entirely sure, but he has not left this game. He is just going to watch himself get melted building by building here. Or maybe since he's seen that offensive GG, he really wants to make a point and prove himself here. We will soon find out. I never put anybody out of it, but I have to imagine this is going to be it. Because there's just way too many units on the map for maduckJr. He is actually trying to build more. Wow. We're getting a couple barracks out there. We're getting a floating off, burnt on fire barracks. So he really hasn't given up at this point in time. Still has the proxy down there. Didn't end up having to use that at all here. Up here, he has pretty much mined everything out. He's not really building anything. Kind of focusing on wearing down Pablito here. Or at least finishing him off here. There he goes. We'll finish off the last of the production builds at the top here. Does end up shrinking all the supply depots. Not entirely sure the point of that. He is going to go over here. We'll end up finding the main base here. We'll start melting away with those Void Rays here. This should pretty much be enough for the GG to come out here. All those Colossi are getting across the map here. Those turrets do get a couple shots off. Not going to do a whole heck of a lot. He will end up taking out the rest of the SCVs there. We'll finish off the rest of that command center. So very well done. I got time for another drink of my energy drink. All right. Remember to keep an eye out for tomorrow for the Friday challenge to expand in one of your opponent's 2 closest mineral patches. Get at least 3 miners working on it. Get the win. Send it in. Win or lose, I will cast that baby on Friday. Guaranteed. By the way, send any of your games in the tractorchute at gmail.com. I will be gone for the weekend, but I might try and time or queue some games up to be uploaded automatically there. Before I go, I'm going up to visit with the family there, so it should be a fairly fun weekend for us. Anyways, I will leave you with this. If you're red or you're blue, don't let me see you drinking out of the tall can, piss in the proper urinal, and don't get the wrong pizza when it's Tuesday. Thanks so much for watching. You be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.